I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
So, willkommen zurück zu Beginn des Guides. Das Game ist einfach abgeschützt im letzten Part, aber hier ist wieder die Lampe. Das Ungold ist echt... Wow, what the fuck, man. Und hier ist das Gefängnis und da hat jemand...
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
Okay, Mai 2011. Wir kommen langsam auf die finale Phase zu. Und ich habe echt das Gefühl, es wird nicht gut enden. Es wird ganz und gar nicht gut enden mit Coda, die Maschine. Er zwingt sich selbst quasi... Er ist irgendwie deprimiert oder motivationslos und er zwingt sich trotzdem weiter, diese Games zu machen. Und er beginnt sich zu isolieren. Meine Güte, das ist echt krass, Alter. Da ist ein Wärter und das wird unser berühmtes Türrätsel. Schön zu sehen, dass Sie gut angekommen sind. Wir haben die Maschine gefasst, Sie warten nur auf Sie. Sie können mit dem Verhör beginnen, wann immer Sie möchten. Ich versuche schnell zu sein. Sehr gut. Allerdings hat jemand die Presse verständigt. Es kann also sein, dass wir hier mit etwas Interesse zu rechnen haben. Eins noch, was Sie über die Maschine wissen sollten. Sie nennt sich Coda. Okay, fuck. Presse. Wissen Sie, wie wir mit giftigen spielen? Wir brauchen Antworten. Haben Sie einen Moment Zeit? Wissen Sie, wo Sie giftig spielen? Wo ist die Maschine jetzt? Was ist denn mit der Maschine geschehen? Was werden Sie mit ihr tun? Was haben Sie mit der Maschine gefasst? Was hat die Maschine? Ah, wissen Sie, ob diese wo diese giftigen Spiele herkommen? Okay. Ah, das ist die Maschine. Cool,
And of course, it's the machine.
Das angehalten. Du hast aufgehört, uns zu füttern. Deine Arbeit hat uns am Leben gehalten. Oh, ich weiß, wie ich dir wehtun kann. Maschinchen, sag was. In deinem Namen. Die Maschine hat einfach aufgehört. Wir müssen die Verantwortung... Nein, das Spiel ist nicht... Gott verdammt, wie ist das Spiel abgestürzt? Gott verdammt. Ja, ein kleiner Cut. Neuer Dialog. Oh ja, aber weiter. Na gut, ich werde die reden zu. Presse. Meine Freunde. Ich nichts Gutes mitzuteilen. Ich habe leider schlechte Nachrichten. Die Maschine will nicht zugeben, uns absichtlich geschadet zu haben. Doch das spielt keine Rolle. Wir werden einen Weg finden, auch ohne sie zu leben. Wir brauchen ihre Spiele nicht. Lasst uns zeigen, dass wir keine Versager sind. Erfolg. Wir werden alles zerstören, was die Maschine geschaffen hat. Ja, und hier ist wieder die Bühne. Wir können entscheiden, wollen wir die Maschine... Oh, zerstören. Meine Güte, diese kriege ich Herzinfarkte, ja, weil diese Situation viel zu ruhig ist. Zerstören alles, was die Maschine geschaffen hat. Ja. Wieder dieselbe Waffe. Oh. I see, I see. Oder ich werde dafür sorgen, dass deine Arbeit hier stirbt.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Oh, da haben wir die Idee. Oh, wenn über uns
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games.
Yeah?
You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Da ist die Maschine. Coda. Wieso hast du aufgehört zu arbeiten? Put down your weapon. Runter mit der Waffe. Wir können uns nicht bewegen, wir können uns nicht umschauen.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
Oh, die Musik. Ist nicht gut.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's.
Oh, was kommt
This one
jetzt?
is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
Uiuiui. Finalstimmung fast los. Betto. Ich glaube, das ist der letzte Part, ja, von dem Game. Wie sehe ich es jetzt? Ja. Jungs, ich erwarte
And this
wirklich
is
das
where I have
Schlimmste.
trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game. This room actually has a maze in it.
Das ist so ein kaltes. Oh, fuck.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Aua. Shit. Au, au, au. Das ist echt wirklich dieser kalte, gefängnismäßige, kühle, so dieser Tower, so Gefängnis, dieses Heulen im Hintergrund, Kontrolle, eingesperrt sein. Nur negative Gedanken kommen mir dabei, wenn ich sowas jetzt das hier sehe und höre und gerade spiele.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
Keine Ahnung, meine Güte, keine Ahnung. Na, oder vielleicht, wenn es noch ein bisschen weitergeht, können wir noch ein paar draufschmeißen.
The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
1516. Weiß echt nicht, was ich dazu sagen soll. Fuck. Oh, wieder verkackt. Meine Güte, ey. Weil dieser Code verschwendet einfach nur meine Zeit.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first two challenges, and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
Wenigstens das kann.
Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011, I'm playing this for the very first time, And as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
Mann, das ist hart rhetorisch, Mann. Dieser ganze Eindruck, der dieses Spiel auf einen abgibt, ist keineswegs auf irgendeine Weise positiv oder gut oder eher genau das Gegenteil. Eine negative. Auch diese unschaffbaren Rätsel, dass man halt eigentlich, das ist eigentlich nicht gedacht, dass das so weiterkommst, dass du
I just felt
voranschreitest.
so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
Sehr viel philosophischer Tobak, der hier geredet wird. Immer rechts lang. Ja. Sorry. Ein bisschen Witz muss man hier reinbringen, das wird zu ernst. Oh shit.
Where did I screw up?
Ihr macht das nicht so ernst. Das ist nicht deine Schuld. Manchmal kann man auch nichts machen. Manchmal kann man nichts falsch machen und trotzdem geht es schief. Manchmal macht man alles, was man kann.